I didn't yell. I didn't slam the door or throw her things out onto the street. I didn't even ask for a reason. I just left. No warnings, no second chances, no dramatic exit. She had already made her decision, and I wasn't about to waste time deciphering it. That was a year ago, and since then I had rebuilt my life, found purpose, peace, and a sense of who I was again. I hadn't thought about her in months, not really until the day she showed up, unannounced. Her eyes, full of something I used to recognize, met mine, and with a shaky breath she whispered, "I never stopped loving you." But I had stopped loving her. We had been together for 6 years, married for 3. I believed in us, in her. She was my best friend, the one who stood by me when everything else fell apart. When we got married, I thought that was it, that was the forever I had imagined. And for a while I believed she felt the same. But trust is a strange thing. You don't realize how deep it runs until it snaps. It started subtly. Late nights at work became routine. New clothes, new perfume, she seemed like someone trying to be seen by someone new. Then came the phone, always in hand, always guarded. Notifications turned to secret glances. "It's just work," she'd say. "You're overthinking things." God, I wanted to believe her. I did. But deep down, I knew that meant something else, something that had already begun to unravel. And then one night, everything fell into place. Nothing seemed off at first, just another dinner alone, the quiet hum of an empty house, the cold side of the bed. She was working late, but by midnight something felt wrong. Stillness. Silence. I checked her location, not out of jealousy but from a need to know. She wasn't at the office. She was at a hotel across town. I froze. My stomach twisted. I ran through every possible excuse, every innocent explanation. But the truth had already begun to settle in, heavy and undeniable. I could have called. I could have let her lie to me one more time. But I didn't. I drove. I parked outside that hotel, sitting in my car for what felt like hours, praying I was wrong. And then she appeared. She came out, laughing, a lightness I hadn't seen in months. And behind her was him, her boss, her mentor. He touched her back like he belonged there. She smiled, a smile that spoke of something more than just business. That was all I needed. No confrontation, no scene. I drove home, packed my things, and left. She came back to an empty house. I didn't leave a message. I didn't have to. She knew. That night I checked into a hotel. I stared at the ceiling, waiting for rage, for heartbreak, for something. But all I felt was numb. By morning I filed the papers. No fight, no drama. Just an ending. She spent most of her time at the office, so that's where I assumed she was when the call started. 5 missed calls before I finally picked up. Her voice trembled on the other end. "We need to talk." "No, we don't," I said flatly. She started crying, swearing it wasn't what it seemed, saying she was confused, that she had made a mistake. But no one ends up in a hotel with their boss by accident. No one lies for months without knowing exactly what they're doing. "I'm not angry," I told her. "I'm just done." That was the last conversation we ever had. I left for a new city. A fresh start. I found a new job, a new apartment, and slowly I built new routines. The early days were rough. There were nights when I instinctively reached for my phone, mornings when I wondered what could have been. But every time I remembered standing outside that hotel, all the doubt disappeared. She had already left me long before I realized she was gone. So I moved on. Time passed. I healed. I stopped looking back. I built a life that had no trace of her in it. Then one day, exactly a year later, she showed up. I had just finished my morning run when I saw her standing by my building. At first I thought it was someone who just resembled her, but then she turned, our eyes met, and I knew. She looked different, not just older but worn, as though life had taken something from her. The spark she once had, the air of superiority, the confidence that came from believing she had won, it was gone. Regret had taken its place. "Hey," she said softly, her voice barely above a whisper. "Can we talk?" I didn't respond. I just stared at her, letting the silence stretch between us. She shifted, brushing her hair behind her ear. "I know I don't have a right to ask. I needed to see you." I let out a slow breath. "Why now?" She paused. "Because I made a mistake." I don't even know what I thought. But I do know I messed everything up. I searched her face, looking for the woman I once loved. But she wasn't there anymore. And neither was the man who would have cared. She reached out, barely touching my arm. "I never stopped loving you." I almost laughed, not because I wanted to hurt her but because I finally understood. She wasn't here because she still loved me. She was here because someone else didn't. "I forgave you a long time ago," I said, stepping back, But it wasn't for you. It was for me. Her expression collapsed. She opened her mouth, probably to say something else, but I didn't let her. Take care of him, I said, and then I walked away. I didn't feel anything. Not anger. Not sadness. Not relief. Just nothing. She stood there watching me. Maybe hoping I'd stop, maybe hoping I'd turn around. But I didn't. Because the truth is, she wasn't standing there for me. She was chasing a feeling, what she felt when she was with me. Safe, secure, desired. But that version of her was gone. And so was the version of me that would have welcomed her back. She had made her choice a long time ago. And I had made mine. I didn't need her apology. I didn't need her closure. I had already found peace within myself. And maybe that's what shocked her the most. Not the silence, not the distance, but the indifference. There was no scene. No emotional collapse. No dramatic ending. Just a quiet truth. Some people don't regret betraying you. They regret losing their safety net. She didn't come back out of love. She came back because her new life didn't meet her expectations. If it had, she wouldn't have looked back. And that's why you never take them back. Because if they truly loved you, they would have never gambled with your heart in the first place. So if you're still waiting for someone to realize what they gave up, stop. If they return, remember this. They don't miss you. They miss how they felt when they were with you. That's not love. That's just regret.